Jason is a badass motherfucker. He picks up garbage left by assholes all day, all the while listening to the most brutal metal out there. He hates wizard metal and has a soft spot for trash like Nirvana and other crap from the 90s, but we'll forgive him because he's just so damned awesome. Mike, on the other hand, is a bastion of impeccable musical refinement. He's been playing guitar and running a studio for nearly 30 years. He's an engineer by trade and can write some of the worst code you've ever seen. He loves wizard metal and often turns his nose up whenever he hears stuff that Jason would call soulful or emotional. If Jason is Maverick, Mike is Iceman. Between the two of them is a veritable mountain of musical knowledge and taste. These old friends will entertain as well as enlighten, all the while paying tribute to the best that the world of metal has to offer. Welcome to the Two Shots Metal Podcast.
Two Shots coming at you live. Jason, Mike, we're here in Seattle. We're going to the fucking Pantera concert, Metallica concert. We will be doing a five-finger, special as well. But
I like how you said that. A five-finger special. That's like a fist.
That's a fisted. So we.
All right. You can see our shots in our wine glasses because we do not have shot glasses here at the suite we are staying in.
So we are fancy. Pantera,
Metallica.
Shout out. Fuck yeah. Welcome, everybody. It's a special edition of Two Shots. Look at this. We're live.
Yeah. That's right, ladies.
We did our shots to the actual concert, the Pantera
Metallica, yes.
And this is the day after. So, I think we'll do the shots to the concert.
The concert, once again, to Metallica and Pantera, two of our most favorite bands.
And
Absolutely.
we're going to emphasize the Pantera on this one. I think so.
Oh, yeah, we will. So, we should tell the world what we just shot, by the way.
Yes.
And then notice we did our shots in shot glasses and not wine glasses at our hotel.
Today,
we're
representing the Blackened. The Metallica Blackened.
The
whiskey.
Metallica-themed event here.
Very good. What'd you think of that? That was your first time. That was your first time.
Oh, for drinking that? Oh, it was good. Yeah. That's
Super
good whiskey.
Tasty. Super
It was very
smooth.
good, actually.
Better than Jack. Just saying.
Jack is delicious, though. Shut up, Jason.
Mike.
Yep. All right, we got to talk about this concert, man.
We got to talk about it.
The fans need us, especially our Japanese fans. Konnichiwa. Yep.
What did you think?
If they're still around, because we haven't made a podcast in at least 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say the same thing. It's
2
been
weeks.
at least 2 weeks.
Yep.
By the way, man, it's great to be live with you.
Oh, dude,
my God.
this is great. It feels good. I'm tingling. It feels good. It feels good. So we are. This is the next day.
It is.
Yep. So we saw three bands last night. We saw Mammoth, which is Wolfgang Van Halen's band. We saw the Pantera, and we saw Metallica.
And we got a lot to say about this, I think, honestly.
All right, so we'll start first. This is a problem with these events, and that is they're never clear with when your ass needs to get there.
Right, yeah.
And so many times at these giant events, I show up like halfway through an opener. This happens many times.
It happens to me quite a bit, too. And especially at this stadium.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened 3 times now at this stadium. Halfway through. Oh, the opener is like halfway done.
Yep. So, Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen's band, we did not really get to see. We saw little bits and pieces of him. I know just by like seeing him in various capacity videos, stuff like that. He's a very talented kid, man. I say kid, he's probably in his like 30s now. But he's very talented. I think he's a good songwriter, and I think he's a fantastic musician who plays many instruments.
Really good guitarist player.
I'll be honest with you, though. I don't have much to say. Like, I don't really know enough to even give you a comment on.
I listened a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if it's for me, really, but
I think I think there's potential.
Yeah.
I still think they're growing. It's the underground, I guess, because he doesn't get much airplay.
No.
But I think there's potential there, honestly. I enjoyed what I did here because we did come in halfway through. And I was trying to, I think I actually got some clips of them, honestly, that maybe we could post up on the page.
We got some clips. If I was a cool video editor, I would like put some, I would pepper in some like a clip here. Like here's one right here, or we could
It'll be
some
somewhere
shots
right
or
here in the middle.
switch over to it. Yeah, we'll do something like that. But now as you're watching this and you see like nothing happening, like then you'll know that like I didn't do it.
They were pretty lame, but yeah.
Yeah.
The real star of the night.
Yes.
The second band.
This is
Pantera.
100% true.
Pantera
fucking killed that shit. Like, this is cool. Like, we got to talk about it. Man.
Yeah,
I think we got to talk about it.
Obviously, this was my very first Pantera concert. I gotta say, I mean, I know I missed the whole Dimebag Vinny stage, but I've watched enough, live content to be like, yeah, I know what I missed out on. I get it. I absolutely get it. But my opinion, this show with Phil, with Zach, with Charlie, and with Rex. Rex, I mean, he's looking a little rough, but the dude was on. He was on.
Yep.
Charlie.
Charlie killed it, dude. He's so good.
What an amazing drummer.
He's so good. He's perfect for this role. Like he played everything perfectly. And I'm an asshole. Like I watch everything.
Yeah, he's really critical.
Yeah, like he sounded fantastic, and like the drum sound that he had too. It was Vinny's setup, man.
It really was.
Sounded perfect.
They had the double bass.
Like his triggering was all like you could really hear it well, and it was crisp and clean.
The whole night was a dedication to Dimebag and Vinny, and Phil made sure to say that.
Oh, like every chance he got, which is good. You want to see that respect there. Like there's so many fans that are like against this whole concept.
Yeah.
And they're wrong. They're wrong. Like this should exist. Things like this should exist.
Especially, and it goes back to one of the arguments that we've had. I don't think we've actually got to talk about this. I mean, we did a little bit. When it's the lead man, which is Phil, still carry on the Pantera name. It's still fucking Pantera.
Like having the same vocalist really matters. Like, because we talk about Fear Factory all the time.
Yeah, we do.
And Fear Factory without BCB is like
not really Fear Factory.
It's a little weird, man. I don't know. It doesn't have the same feel to it, and we're old assholes, and we want our things to never change.
Yeah.
So I will say, with my so I had other reservations with Fear Factory too, like and them like fudging around with drummers and stuff like that, which I'm also happy to talk about in another episode.
Definitely.
But for this lineup, like it had to be Zach.
Yeah, I think it had to be Zach.
I don't know if it had to be Charlie, but Charlie is absolutely incredible, and the fact that it is him and he puts so much effort into learning everything perfectly is exactly what you want there.
He's perfect. So happy with him. Like. Just the feeling of the drums beating through your chest.
It sounded so good.
It was so spot on. It was really, really powerful. And Phil.
So I've seen I saw Pantera live in the 90s, and I've seen so many live videos of Pantera, and you get some you can tell when Phil is not into it, and now he is into it.
He was so into it.
He was into it. He gives a shit now, and that really matters. Like he sounds good,
in fantastic shape. Mm-hmm. Voice didn't lose nothing.
Yep. He was really smart about his vocals too. Like I think he knows now what will blow his voice out, and he lets the crowd sing stuff like that.
He does.
He does do that, which is like, I mean, do whatever it takes to not blow your voice out by the end of the gig.
Because the big thing, especially for us. We were singing so much Pantera. Yeah. Our voices.
Yeah, we blew our voices out like almost immediately. So like Phil got all the way through the show and sounded good at the end too.
What a fucking performance they put.
It was really good.
10 stars, you name it. Like
they played great songs too. Maybe I'll scroll the set list up there too,
because that was huge.
Yeah, the set list was amazing. There were a couple of things I wish I could have seen, but if they were headliners, we would have seen them.
Absolutely.
But they only got to play for an hour, but that's what you expect on a tour like this. So
What a show! What a show! Pantera.
Yeah.
20 years later, 25 years, 24 years later, still has the power to move
Oh yeah.
our generation, and
Yeah.
that was huge.
It took those specific 4 guys to make this happen. This could have been like a fiasco. Like it could have been shit. But Zach is so good, and Charlie
ripped.
was so good. Yeah, he kicked ass. And he's totally jacked. He's jacked.
It was great.
But he sounds great. Like you can hear a lot of Zach isms in his playing and stuff like that. He does those the artificial harmonics everywhere. I enjoy those. But you can tell it's not Dimebag.
Yeah.
But this is
absolutely
like it's fantastic though. Like don't get it twisted. He's great. Like he's great.
Great. The beard is just
yeah, and he looks amazing. He's so cool.
I know. Hey, we definitely have different beards from the last time.
Yeah.
I'm doing the go-to. Zach is just
Zach has a giant beard. He looks like a giant muscular Viking.
A Viking, yes, exactly.
He's awesome. Zach Wilde is a legend, man. He's so good.
Such a fucking legend. So this is all like nothing but positive to the whole band. See
this incarnation of Pantera. Try not to fight about it on the internet like everyone does. Like I think stuff like this is great, and people get a chance to hear these songs played, like very well.
Yes. I want to say one of the highlights that really got me is if you listen to fucking Hostile.
Yeah.
And even in the studio version, he'll during the chorus part, Phil will run and say, "Vince."
Yeah.
This time he didn't miss a beat. Like when we're not lying,
he does that. Yeah.
He was like Phil was such on point. It was Charlie to go into the new solo. It was so freaking great.
It's cool. It's totally cool.
This new iteration of Pantera, if it is like a full blown iteration.
Debate that amongst yourselves, kids. This is a great thing to see.
Absolutely.
No matter what, see this shit, man. Even if you're a hater, like don't miss this. It's a great show. It's a great concert, and
the potential of them touring again sounds like it's available. Don't miss it. Go see Pantera.
See this shit. Go see it.
They will
see
blow
Pantera.
Your socks off.
Yeah, they're awesome now. It's awesome.
So, and then it is unfortunately they did an hour because.
All right. So we got to talk. We got to talk about my all-time favorite and least favorite band in the world, which is Metallica.
Favorite and least favorite.
Oh yes. Like I've been in an abusive relationship with Metallica my whole life.
I think a lot of people.
And I'll tell you what, my honeymoon phase with Metallica was good.
Oh yeah,
it was good, boy.
Real good.
It was real good.
Like that.
Real good. Oh my gosh, it was real good. Like I got into Metallica like when I at a very young age, and really it was with like right around the time, like right around the time the Black Album came.
Okay, so like 90, 91.
It was like 91, but I had heard a little bit before then. I had like neighbors that were like big metalheads, but I was like 11 years old in 91. Right. I was born in 79, at the end of 79. So I was a young lad, there in like middle school, and like the tribal ass world of middle school. If you were middle school in like our era, like you basically just joined a tribe. You like grew your hair out and had a jean jacket with patches on it and stuff, and like joined essentially a gang of other people that liked metal, and that's what middle school was. That, and you gate kept everything, and you got tested all the time. Like, oh, you're gonna wear a Metallica shirt, you better know
what song from Ride of Lightning is this.
And if you don't S Cliff Burton's D and hate on Jason Newsted, you are not a real fan.
Hey, listen,
despite the fact that Jason Newsted turned out to be amazing, and I think
seriously.
we did him dirty back in the day.
And I still think,
Jason Newsted is cool. As fuck.
Absolutely.
So, yes, Metallica is my biggest love-hate. So, I grew up and I was playing guitar at a young age, when you're playing guitar, man, old Metallica, every song is a wonderful exercise.
First song you played,
so good.
Was it one?
It was. I had a tab sheet that had 1, Fade to Black, and what was the other one? Sanitarium. And they all start out with kind of like the same little shape. Oh, and the intro to Enter Sandman.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So I was playing guitar. I think I just turned like 14 or something when I was playing. And my guitar teacher was really cool because he's like, we're not playing hot cross buns, like learning how to read music and stuff like that. We'll do that later when your fingers work.
Right.
He's like, you obviously look like you like Metallica or whatever, and Metallica is great for learning guitar. So he started writing me out like tab and stuff. I started on tab, but I ended up taking guitar lessons for like 8 years, and eventually learned how to like learn some theory and music and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely
but I started with those songs, man. Those like clean Metallica intros.
Absolutely
Changed my life.
Oh God,
changed my life. It was so good. Old Metallica was so good, and then. And then the live shit, Binge and Purge is like the greatest live experience ever. The Metallica with the Seattle and it was Seattle and Mexico City concerts. Those are the two best concerts probably ever.
So really, what he's saying,
oh my gosh,
is Seattle has like a great history with Metallica.
It does have that because the Seattle one was for the And Justice for All tour.
Yeah, and I seen them 5 years ago. For the Hardwire tour.
I saw them on that.
They come to Seattle quite a bit.
For sure.
Tell you what.
Okay. So, and then I struggled through Load and Reload when they cut their hair.
We all did.
Like, Metallica cut their hair, put on eye makeup, became kind of alternative-y at the time. And it was a betrayal to all of us.
It felt that way.
So this is all like, please tune into my episode where Jason and I discuss nu metal, which is the Damage Plan episode. So there are two things that cause nu metal, all right? And the nu metal, and please go back to that episode. We break it all down thoroughly, explain it all to you in gruesome detail, which is overt heaviness at the expense of musicality, which basically there were two things that caused it, in my opinion. One of them is Pantera. Pantera caused it because all these bands decided they wanted to sound like Pantera, and there is an art form to sounding like Pantera. And instead, we had all these like kind of shitty Pantera wannabe bands that came out like right around that time.
Says that guy.
There's good ones too, man. I acknowledge this as well that there's some good ones too, that ended up like the ones with the staying power were good.
Yep.
And there's another thing that happened, and that was the backlash to Metallica selling out, which caused all these bands to be like, F you Metallica, you're going to put on eyeliner. We're just going to go full bore into the heaviness side out of spite because we all got betrayed by Metallica.
Absolutely.
And those two things put together resulted in the nu metal takeover, in my opinion. And we didn't talk about Metallica during that other video, but I think they had just as much of an effect in the other direction of causing nu metal because Metallica went soft and everyone else went hard out of spite.
It seemed like it. Yeah.
So it's like trying to be like Pantera, which was also getting even harder and harder and harder, and out of spite against Metallica. So then you have that happen. Then you have like the Saint Anger stuff and the therapy stuff, and you had then you had the mixing problem with Death Magnetic, and you have Lulu, and you have betrayal after betrayal after betrayal. So by the end, I'm like...
I want to throw that out there, because...
You know, they re-released Death Magnetic, and they fixed the problem.
I loved Death Magnetic.
Then you probably weren't listening to the original version. Probably. Because they fixed it. Because they did. It's an over-compression problem, and it's harsh on the ear. I couldn't even listen to it. Like, they did fix it, and I should go back and give it a...
You should.
You know how I went and gave Damage Plan a shot?
Yeah.
I should give Death Magnetic a shot.
You really should.
Okay, for a future episode.
They did play one Death Magnetic album.
It's the song that I knew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That almost everybody knew.
Yeah.
The Day That Never Comes.
Yeah.
And like with most of that album, it brought me back to Injustice for All, where it was like the slow build to the heaviness. That I really do enjoy that album. But we gotta get into.
Oh, we need to talk about this concert.
Show.
Yeah. We gotta talk about the concert. All right.
I want to first say James Hetfield looks fantastic.
He looks great. He's about 60 years old now, and he's in great shape. He's he's slim and trim. He's looking good,
looking ripped.
Yeah.
Playing like I think Metallica.
Jason and I are drinking margaritas today.
I put this in the category of Metallica's probably the greatest American metal band in America because like they've been around for 40 years. They do, you could put them in line with that AC/DC, like, AC/DC's, worldwide. Metallica's pretty much worldwide. They played at freaking Argentina for crying out loud. Or Antarctica.
All 7 continents.
Yeah,
buddy.
exactly.
Well, Metallica's the biggest rock band ever.
Right.
Metal or rock
That's
band
what I
ever,
think too.
man.
So, with that being said, this show, Mike, this show.
Oh, man. All right.
I love Metallica.
I love Metallica, man. I love Metallica. I've seen Metallica, I think 3 times now. I've seen them 3 times. I saw them once on the Reload tour, which was Cunning Stunts. That when I saw that, I was 17 when I saw them.
I'm sorry.
It was that. Honestly, that was a great concert.
Oh, okay.
It was great.
All right,
and plus, like, I won the ticket lottery too, and I was right up there.
Was that was still with Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and that was right when they put the eyeliner on too. But it was a great concert. You can go watch. Actually, you can literally watch footage from the exact show I was at online. It's Cunning Stunts in Tampa, Florida, Ice Palace, 1997.
Yeah. All right.
And so anyway, and then I saw him. I think I saw him.
Hardwire.
I know Hardwired, maybe another time too. I can't even remember now, but I've seen so many concerts now. But I think this is the 3rd time I've seen them live. But okay, so Hardwired was great. Avenged Sevenfold, great concert.
Great. Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold kills it.
Metallica is amazing, and I love them.
Yep.
I love them. Sometimes I'm annoyed with them, and I love them. We need to discuss this concert.
We need to discuss this concert.
Okay.
Started out, I will say, they started out strong. Creeping Death.
Started out with Creeping Death. Okay. Jason, all right, how about this?
Okay.
Jason, go first.
Yep.
Tell us what. All right. Tell us what you like first, then tell us what you didn't like, and then I'll tell what I like.
This is what I like. I like the fact that it's Metallica. I like the fact that they look great still. I like the fact that Lars is still working his ass off to be Lars as a drummer. Like his facials, him standing up, banging on the cymbals. They are showmen. This actual concert, which we will probably put up some footage of, their stage presence was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
They started out strong. First 3 songs from Injustice for All.
They started with Creeping Death, which is Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, Ride the Lightning.
They did
Harvester of Sorrow.
Harvester of Sorrow, which is Injustice for All, and then they did a Master of Puppets, which is Leper Messiah.
Oh yeah, they did.
Which is
so
not a common song they hear them play. Leper Messiah.
So they did 3 different albums, 3 different songs.
Yep.
Fantastic. Actually, the audience was really into it because I go back to Seattle. Seattle loves Metallica.
And the audience was full of boomers, man.
Yeah,
it's all a bunch of old metal guys. So we wanted the old stuff, man. We love it.
And they killed it. After that 3rd song, they killed me.
Oh my God.
They killed me, and it seems like I admit I was already kind of gassed out with Pantera, but when you start off strong, when Metallica started off so strong, we were into it. We were standing up. But it was after that 3rd song that I don't think I really stood up much the rest of the night.
So they all right. Okay, so
ultimately I loved it because it's still Metallica.
It's still Metallica.
But they played for 2 hours, and I only cared about maybe, if I'm lucky, an hour of it.
So, okay, so let me. I'll give you mine here. Here's what I liked.
Okay.
And I think I liked all the same things you liked. Just to add a few things, the stage setup was incredible. They moved the drum set around.
Yes, that's right.
There was some wild stuff was happening. The 7 jumbotrons up there. Like, oh my God! Like, what a performance! And, geez, okay, so that's what we liked. Yeah. But to Jason's point, this is one of the worst set lists I have ever heard, and it is so poorly laid out. It is so bad. Yeah. You start out really strong. It's got real strength at the beginning, power, and then it's like an hour of just soul-crushing boredom.
Yeah.
They pick like the worst songs. It's like songs that nobody knows. There was a new album. You got to play a little bit on there, but they packed them all in together. It was awful. It was awful. It was painful.
It kind of was.
And then
we'd be sitting around like this.
It was bad. It was
it
so
really
bad.
was.
And then it ramped back up towards the end again. And then so not only was it was slow, it was bad. There was but when they came back into the songs we knew, it was Nothing Else Matters, which is a slow ballad.
Yes.
It was a song everybody knows again. It's but it's Nothing Else Matters. It was just slow. Slow.
So you're not really picking up the energy
Yeah,
level. You're just picking up the familiarity.
Yeah, the familiarity. Yeah, that sense of novelty there, which is, yes, novelty is good, but
But you couldn't get my energy level up because you picked that song.
Us boomers, we need to be stimulated.
Yeah.
You got to take us on a journey. Stagger it. Give us an old one, a new one, old one, new, something like that. Give us something like that, man. Or give us more old stuff. I hate to just be that guy, but
I mean, especially we know they're going to be in Seattle 2 nights. They're doing a double.
So we get another concert tomorrow night. We're going to do another review.
Yeah, because it's Five Finger and Metallica, and we don't know if it's going to be as friendly. I mean, Pantera. Really, ultimately, Pantera won the night.
Yeah, we wanted to see Pantera anyway. That's the highlight of this whole experience is to go see.
And
Pantera.
even though Metallica's great live, because I do want to say that, even though they brought us down, I still feel like in a live standard, they're still great.
Okay.
James's voice is still, I think.
All right. I'm going to be your asshole friend again. Debbie Downer, get off my
Debbie
line.
Downer.
All right. So, Metallica, I have grown up with. Metallica is in my heart as a child. Mm-hmm. My guitar playing is basically James Hetfield with slightly less downpicking. I love Metallica so much. But, Metallica can't play their shit anymore. Not very well. And it's because a lot of those songs are really hard. If you're not practiced. And so Metallica has this problem. And you know what that is? It's the Metallica problem. They're really rich. And they don't have to do this.
But they love doing it.
Right? They love playing live. What they don't love is practicing. I know this. You know this.
Well, I don't know. Rob told us that him and Kurt to jam.
Rob, by the way, is a very technically competent bass player. He's really good. He's way better than anyone else in Metallica. Technically speaking, he's really fucking good. And he has no business being in Metallica or whatever. He's really good. If you hear some of his old stuff, oh my god, he's really good. That's why if you all watch the audition video, when he comes in there, he's like, "You guys want to play Battery?" And he's just boom, 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 he just taps it out. And apparently he was hungover when he was playing it too. There's some good behind the scenes stuff from that video. They took him out and got him wasted the night before, and he showed up
to try to fuck with him.
But Rob is really, really good. But the problem is that Lars and James and Kirk, they're old and they don't have to do this anymore. So everything we get out of them is just at their own benevolence. It's a treat. Everything that they give us is a gift. But it's not with that same technical precision and of the old days. And they've changed the songs up to account for that. They're tuned down really far now so James can sing them, which is okay because it's better than singing out of tune.
Yes.
And the Master of Puppets changes, no one will notice except guitar players.
This guy.
There are they've made a lot of changes to Master of Puppets because James just can't downpick it, all the intricate riffs like he used to. And fair. Dude, they're hard songs. And you have to be in shape to play them. You have to
Well, they are. I mean, clearly, you look at them. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. See, and this is where we will differ.
Yeah.
Musician.
And no one's going to notice this. That's not a musician.
Exactly. Fan, I don't notice the difference. Yeah. All I notice is that, the age and the amount of sound that comes from their instruments, it's still exciting. They bring the excitement. They, like I said, they have a great, fantastic stage presence.
Oh yeah,
they can make.
They
can really make you believe.
They're the best. Yeah, and Metallica, and they're still good. They're still the best, man. They're amazing. But it's but you're seeing people get old now, and it's hard to watch that. It is for me.
For you.
For me, it's hard to watch.
Understand.
But I can still separate. Like, they're awesome, and if it weren't for them choosing like the worst set list known to man, it would have been an amazingly wonderful concert.
We would have had a much better review.
Amazing concert.
But they did. They put us to sleep.
Yeah. But they're so good, though. They're so good.
And so Sunday, what we're hoping for is Sunday will be a better show for Metallica. We don't know what we're going to expect from Five
Finger Death Punch.
He's seen them. I know a lot of people are fans of
I've seen them like a million times because they're always on festival tours.
Yes, yeah.
And I've seen a million festival tours because they always come through where I'm at in Florida. And they always come at the worst time, so you're just sweating and it's awful.
So hot.
And you're just like, and then you just get to see either Slipknot, Disturbed, Five Finger Death Punch, or what are the staples of those tours, like the Monster Energy tour.
Oh,
or whatever.
you get
It's always like those.
They do all the
So you get those. It's always that Monster Energy tour that has Five Finger Death Punch on it. So I've seen them a bunch of times, and they're they put on a great show. Like they're the singer's really good, like Ivan Moody. But you have to you either like them or you just think they are milquetoast, like generic. What do they say? Butt rock or something?
No, generic versions of Pantera.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what
they get accused of being like Nickelbacky, generic, kind of rock sort of stuff.
All right.
Like it's fine, but it's not amazing.
But it's not really fine.
It's fine. It's okay. That's what I always. But I think they deserve better than that. But it's still and we'll see. We'll give you guys our opinions on this.
Because, I will say, from my personal opinion, I'm not the biggest Five Finger fan because I look at them as a watered-down version of Pantera. Coming from my era of, love for Pantera.
Yeah.
This is just how I look at them. But I am going to go in with an open mind because they have some songs I do enjoy a lot.
And we've seen the set list. They're going to play a lot of the songs that they know and that I like,
Yeah. So we're hoping
it's probably going to be pretty good.
I
bet they're going to do good.
A good Five Finger, which will bring you the honest opinion on that. And we're really hoping Metallica doesn't put us to sleep.
So we looked at the set list, and it's way better for tomorrow night. But we have a problem with Seattle doing traffic management, so we might have to run out of there halfway through. Otherwise, we'll be stuck there for 2 days.
Yeah, I think we're gonna miss 4.
We might see some of the not see some of the songs at the end because otherwise we will have to walk 10 miles to get away,
just to
get an Uber to get back to our hotel.
Yeah, they have a bad issue with funneling people out.
It's not good.
Fix it, Seattle.
Seattle's special area. Special.
Yeah, Mike's had a great time.
Yeah, your boy Mike is from Florida, which is the opposite of Seattle in almost every way.
The complete opposite. Yeah,
the opposite of Seattle.
So
I think that's it for now.
I think so. I think
we'll wrap it up for now, and we'll give you our next day analysis that you all know and love from us.
Let's go.
Yep.
Metallica.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Tell me this thing's still recording.
Hey guys, welcome back to day 2 of Two Shots Live.
That's right, live and in person.
Hell yeah,
crazy.
So, as promised, we are gonna talk about and review night number 2 of Metallica.
Yep.
Metallica. This night was Metallica, Five Finger, and Ice Nine Kills.
Yes. All right. Same location.
Yep.
We are here in Seattle, Washington. Communist capital of the world, overly taxed, underly managed.
I don't know if I would say communist capital, but hey, it's hit or miss here.
Yes. All right. So I think we got to talk about Ice Nine Kills.
Absolutely. So
yeah,
this band, we don't know a whole lot about them.
Didn't know shit.
I got little words here and there from friends. My nephew said, "Hey, this band's kind of heavy." I've heard them on Octane, maybe on Liquid Metal once or twice. So we didn't know what we were coming into.
No idea.
He did a little bit of research, found out that they're horror based.
Yep, all their songs are in fact about horror movies, which is pretty cool.
Kind of really awesome because it's old school horror movies too.
Yep. So I had no idea what to expect, no idea what the music was going to sound like. I figured it'd be some kind of metal because you wouldn't
be at a Metallica concert,
right? So these guys, they showed up. They're all dressed like Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, which is pretty cool. And they had dudes with chainsaws running around on stage. Singer put on a nice Freddy Krueger.
He did the
glove
Freddy Krueger,
for a bit.
The Leatherface.
Yeah, Leatherface.
They did so many throwbacks to horror flicks.
The music was fun. It was nice hard metal. There was some good double bass in there. It had some good. I've been using the term pop sensibilities lately. Lately, which is like catchy choruses and stuff like that.
Or Fall Out Boy.
A little bit of Fall Out Boy kind of action thrown in, which so sometimes a bit of that here and there can sound good. Sometimes it sounds lame, but in this case, I think it worked pretty well.
So I think with my opinion, it's a little much on the poppiness.
Yep.
A little bit of the much Fall Out Boy, but their lyrics make up for it.
The lyrics were really great.
And they did have some really good heavy tones. Their scratch, their screams, their growls. They brought a great mixture.
Yep. And I looked it up. This is another one of those bands that's like a one dude sort of project where he had a bunch of musicians kind of floating around back and forth, cycling through. All in all, I'm going to give these guys 2 snaps up in a circle. Is that from a In Living Color throwback?
Yeah, we're really going old school now.
No, they were good, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would give them about a 7.5, and their performance was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, they know what they're doing, man. And like they had like chicks running around on stage, getting chased by dudes with chainsaws and all kinds of messed up stuff.
I think for us it was because we're so cynical about new music.
Yes.
Because new music does
get
suck.
off of our lawn.
Yeah, exactly. We're the old people.
We're old ass boomers, man.
But for us, and considering this new, I think it's something we would dig. I mean, we did dig, and I think it. On the way home, we listened to them, like just to try to check more of them out. Yeah. They're pretty solid.
They were good. Yeah.
Recommend it.
Yes.
2 shots recommended.
2 shots recommended. Let's see. All right. Now, moving along, they gave us a nice 30-minute break, and then they brought out Five Finger Death Punch, which I've seen Five Finger Death Punch probably like 5 or 6 times now because they headline every music festival that comes through Florida. Like the Monster Energy festivals and all that kind of stuff where I go there.
Fest
I want to see like 3 or 4 bands, and those bands only play for 30 minutes, and then Five Finger Death Punch plays, and so you end up seeing them.
An hour.
They're on. No, they get like 2 hours because it's their shit.
It's theirs. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
So what do you say about Five Finger Death Punch? Like they're fine. Like
I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know if I could even say
it's okay. That. I mean, this is the most accessible metal I think that you could ever have. Like everything's like it's okay, it's fine. I like it.
Yeah. So I disagree.
Okay. It's good.
I think they, and I know Mike loves this because we anybody really likes it when you pander to a certain group.
I love being pandered to. You can pander to me all day. I love it.
And I feel like that's a lot of what they do.
They pander?
Yeah, they do a lot of pandering.
That's fine.
I believe since their first album, which was really good, they just progressively got more pandering and to their audience. And it works because they sell a lot of tickets. They got a huge fan base. They did sound pretty good live. I will say that Ivan struggled for the song "The Bleedin'." I didn't get to play that for you yet, but I wanted you to see
I got a
the
recording
ranges.
of that.
Yeah, the range and
click that link.
The range of the differences on how he sounded. He's older, so he's lost some of that.
Yep.
They were entertaining. People loved them.
Yeah.
Not for me.
It's kind of like I use the phrase milk toast to like. It's just kind of like it's fine, you know. Like there was nothing that really stood out about it that made me like, yeah, this is awesome or anything like that. But the whole time I was never like, this is terrible. I was always like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
it's fine. Pretty good. Yeah.
The Viking bass player I love. You know?
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
Martial artist guitar player. What's his name? Zoltan Bathory.
Zoltan, yeah,
which is like a name right out of like a fan fiction.
Yes.
Like novel.
That's. I can't personally suggest them, but I know a lot of people already love them. Maybe our audience likes them, but like for me, that's just not for me.
Yeah.
But they were good, and they were a good hype for Metallica.
Oh yeah,
that's the one thing that these bands for both days, they're great at hyping up their headliner.
Yep. And like so, back to last or 2 nights ago's first concert. So Pantera was amazing and remarkably amazing and sounded great. Five Finger Death Punch was like fine. It was like it's fine, but it's like they're the definition of like lukewarm metal.
Yeah,
you know, it's like lukewarm. You know, it's like it's not really hot. It's not spicy. It's fine. It's like going to like McDonald's maybe.
I mean, if you
it's gonna be pretty good, but it's like you're not gonna be like, man, I just had the best steak ever, dude. You're not. It's not that.
If you listen to their lyrics, and I think that's what a lot of people do. Like they're uplifting.
Yeah,
they have that uplifting spirit.
Like
about them.
the first responder stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
They do that. I think that's all fine. You know, they're fine, and I'm sure I'll see them like 20 more times because they'll always just kind of be around.
At the very least, yep.
Yeah, I mean they're fine. I've never bought a Five Finger Death Punch CD. I mean I haven't bought a CD or anything in a very long time anyway.
True,
but like, you know, and they've never been, or I don't think they've ever actually been in any sort of like playlist I've created or anything.
Yeah, no. I mean the Bleedin' was like the one song that's in my playlist because that's the song I know that actually made them.
Yeah, I didn't even know that song by them. I knew they did that cover with what's his name, the kid Stevie Ray Vaughan guy. What's his name? Oh my gosh, the Blue on Black.
Oh yeah.
The kid. So we used to make fun of him back in the '90s because what the hell was his name? Kenny Wayne Shepherd. They were like, he's the next Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he got to go play on the G3 tour. And us guitar playing metal assholes back in the day were like, fuck that. This kid is like 19 and he plays like country blues shit and he could suck it. What's he doing playing with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani? And so, even though like he was probably very talented at the time, but us asshole gatekeeping metalheads back then did not deal well with that. So even though he probably ended up being cool, he's probably like in his 50s now or something.
Those that didn't pay attention gave zero fucks.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like those people wouldn't have gone to a G3 show anyway. But yeah, so they did a cover of that recently, which
the
was
Blue on Black is a good song.
I was like, okay, that's fine.
Exactly, it's fine. Yep.
But that's the whole thing about them. It's like, yeah, it's fine. It's okay. Yeah. All right, so I think we got to talk about. All right, so then we had a nice like hour off.
Yeah, a good hour. Seemed like an hour and 15 minutes because it seemed like Five Finger ended their set early.
Early, yeah. Like
where Pantera did not. They did the full hour 15, I think it was.
Yes.
Where Five Finger, for some reason, they did seem to leave
early.
Yeah,
I cheated and looked at like old set lists, and I was like, there was supposed to be a drum solo in there, and 3 encores and shit like that, and we didn't get none of that. Like they cut that like really early, and then we had to wait an hour and 15 or whatever for Metallica to start.
For Metallica.
So at this point, and I believe we mentioned some of this in that you'll see earlier in this video. We talked about the nice lull in the excitement of the Metallica set.
Yes.
And so because the stadium there has a very, what's the word? They're very, very lackluster support for effective crowd management. I'm saying this in the nicest way possible, because those idiots have no idea how to like manage a crowd.
There you go. Yeah.
We needed to get the hell out of there early, or we would have been stuck for like 2 or 3 hours trying to get back out to Jason's truck.
Yep.
So we were like, all right, man, I have no problem leaving this early. I've seen Metallica many times.
We came up with a pretty solid game plan. We're looking like.
So we looked at the set list and we're like, all right, we're going to leave after
Ride the
Lightning.
Yep.
Which was like pretty far up.
Third song.
It was like the third song there. And then, because you looked, it was like, dude, there's going to be like 6 or 7 more songs before they start to get good again, including some nonsense like Doodle, they called it. Another one with like Kirk and Rob, which was, that stuff is terrible. I mean, Rob is a fantastic bass player, and Kirk is one of my favorite guitar players in spite of himself. But those guys like jamming for 20 minutes, like, dude,
does nothing for the
fans.
Bored.
I'm so bored.
Yep.
Like, it's not for me. So we were happy to get on out of there.
We were.
I
mean, I won't lie, because like Metallica is so good at like the one thing we can agree on. When you're at a Metallica concert, they will bring you to your highest highs.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're so entertaining, they're so engaging, and they're so loud. But this tour, I've learned that they'll bring you to the lowest of lows.
I never thought I would be like bored at a Metallica concert, man. And so, all right, we have a little time here. Let's compare it to the past.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll go way back for starters. Now, I want to bring this up a little bit because Jason, who makes fun of me for not knowing shit all the time, it's like, what do you mean you never listened to Damage Plan? Whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
True.
So Jason has never heard the Seattle and Mexico City live albums from Live Shit, Binge, and Purge, which are the 2 greatest recordings of anything ever.
Ever, supposedly.
Ever. And see, if you're listening to this right now, you know what I'm talking about. You know, as a fan, as a fan of metal.
Or you're like me and you haven't really
You just haven't had a chance to hear it yet. That's okay. So at some point we're gonna fix that up with Jason, and he's gonna be like, damn, my whole life has been a lie. I went through my whole life not understanding how good Metallica really was, and why everything after Live Shit, Binge, and Purge was nothing but gut-wrenching disappointment.
I will not say that. I will never say that.
Gut-wrenching, horrifying disappointment.
So that's such like an asshole thing to say. You can't say that.
Jason will go through the rest of his life feeling what I feel. He will feel what I feel.
Disappointment every time.
The soul-crushing disappointment every time Metallica did anything.
No.
Because they went right from Live Shit, Binge, and Purge to Load and Reload to Saint Anger.
Which I like Saint Anger. Shout out if you like Saint Anger, the album.
We had that Mission Impossible song in there too, which was
exactly.
so odd.
That was horrible.
Oh my god! But everything after, like they put eyeliner on after. Like,
yeah, they did. They did.
So at some point
we'll find it.
We should know, or Jason needs to know how good live Metallica actually was. It's the greatest thing ever. Nothing is better than this. I stand by this. There's nothing.
Which is fair.
Nothing. But, all right. So then I saw the Cunning Stunts tour,
right?
Which was quite good. This was for Load and Reload,
which I don't even know how you could say that was good.
The tour was good. I mean,
okay.
But they played a lot of Load and Reload songs, which at that point, like, I was about 17, 18 years. I think I was 17 when I went to that concert, and I was like, still, this is Metallica. You know, I love Metallica so much, and I was really trying my best to like Load and Reload, but man, we were all assholes back then. So we were just hoping we didn't get a ton of Load and Reload songs, but it was still a great concert. It was fine. Metallica was still peppy. Like they were playing most of their stuff okay. I was only really mad at Kirk Hammett because he can't fucking play guitar solos.
I can't even imagine you. I just can't. I can't get over that you say that.
Then I went. Although I didn't see Metallica until the Hardwired tour, and they were great on that tour. That was a great concert.
It was such a great concert.
It was really good. Really good.
The difference of that concert was on the East Coast where you're from, you got to see Volbeat
and Avenged Sevenfold.
And
you got
I got
Gojira.
And Avenged Sevenfold. And let's talk about that concert.
Yeah, that concert was fucking incredible. It was like they filled up like 3/4 of a stadium and put a giant screen at the end of the like football field. And whereas like this concert, they filled up the whole thing was like sold out for this last one.
And we got video that we'll send out.
Yeah, we'll put that up.
But the Hardwire tour,
yes,
I think, and I will blame radio for this, and I'll even blame satellite for this. we had much better preparation for Hardwire.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga sung "Moth in the Flame" with Metallica.
Yeah.
There was like
I knew more songs off of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was more exposure.
And I thought "Spit Out the Boat" was actually a great song.
It's
which
a
is
phenomenal.
I was like,
song.
oh my god! Like this is like, what? We got some good Metallica again. This is crazy.
Hardwire was great. Like everything
it was
about
good.
that album was pretty damn good, and it was just out there. It
Yeah.
was out there for all of us to like experience.
Yeah.
We all thought Metallica was back. So when the Hardwire tour came to Seattle, it was my very first Metallica show, and I was not disappointed at all. I bought the T-shirt, that whole ordeal.
Yeah.
You had to have the experience. And Hardwire, they played everything good. They did all the great stuff. Seattle didn't have the problem that they had this time around. That I promise.
Yep.
But they went old school. They went new school. They don't even really think they played much from Load or even Reload.
Maybe like one or two.
Yeah, like
songs.
Until It Sleeps or something.
Yeah, Fuel. Maybe it was Fuel, something like that. But not,
it was
not a lot.
Fucking awesome.
And it was
show.
like a 3-hour set list
Yes.
all one night.
Yes.
And I stayed till the very end.
Me too.
Because
Me too.
I loved everything. It was so good.
Enjoyed every minute of that show.
It was like polished men. They were like into it.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, they weren't lazy playing it.
So yeah, which brings us to
a little
concert.
bit, but not.
So what is
17
is when that concert was on tour.
Because the time goes.
It
It feels like
does.
yesterday I was at that.
It really, seriously. I did not think it was.
That was like 3 years before COVID.
Yeah, it was.
Oh my god.
It was wild.
Jeez.
Super wild times.
Oh my gosh.
So then now we're in 2024.
Yep.
And we got this tour.
Yeah.
And a lot of differences. Not the same exposure to the album.
No.
And I know they're super proud of this. Like you hear interviews, they're super proud of this album.
I went and listened to it. I gave it like a once through, and nothing stood out on this album to me as being like. It just sounded like a metal jam band kind of got together and like lazily threw some shit together that they thought sounded cool.
Yeah,
And
I think it was like canned metal. Like
what does Lars say all the time? Stock.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
stock.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And that's what it felt like.
that's what it felt like.
And this set list, both nights, the set list really did not make up for.
Yep. This was a better set list tonight, but at this point we were so like disgruntled by the same there's the same lull in the middle.
Yep.
That we're like, dude, we can't stick around till the end, otherwise we will get stuck here for an extra 3 hours. So we're like, nah.
Yeah.
We'll just go.
I wanted to hear "Fight Fire with Fire." "Ride the Lightning" was such a phenomenal album, and they played that was night 2. They played a lot of "Ride the Lightning" stuff.
Yep.
But they broke it up. Why the hell you got to break it up?
Yep.
Why are you gonna have me so high? Because that was out of both nights, the crowd was so into Metallica.
Oh yeah.
I think the Seattle scene is like Metallica country.
Oh yeah.
I mean, personally, they will be super into everything they do.
Yep.
But like people like us who can't get into everything that they got going on. We saw the lulls, and we felt the lulls. The energy level
is
sunk.
it's like a big old smiley face, right? You got the first three songs at the beginning. It was like, it's gonna be great.
So pumped.
And then like Until It Sleeps kicked in. Then I think after that, or no, it wasn't Until It Sleeps. It was what did they put in some song off Load, like a slower song, and then it was.
Progressively.
It was slow, and then you got that jam session in the middle, and it like ballady stuff, and it's just like you can't just have so many like songs in a row that are like slow ballady or unrecognizable.
Yeah, because they did a lot of the '72 seasons.
It's like
a lot, like 4 songs, almost 3 songs in a row. Then they would add a Load song, and then the jam sesh, and then they'd come back, and you'd start to go on the climb back up.
Yeah,
and it was almost too late.
It was too late for us.
Yeah, it was
especially that second night.
So hard to like get back into it. And yeah, the second night we left, we were walking,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they changed the set list, but like as we were walking like away from the stadium, we heard Sanitarium.
Yeah, well, I know that was part of the. Well, it wasn't part of. It was like as the lull was like getting better.
Right.
After
I
we
was
were like,
wow.
had walked out for like 45 minutes,
I
getting all the way out.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but it would have meant like 45 minutes of like.
Yeah, we
and,
would have
and,
been.
And
down.
Sanitarium is a great song, but it's like a slower song.
It
It
is.
starts out slow and then it gets heavy at the end.
Yep.
But like, all right. So, and this is what hurts my feelings. Like Metallica's old now.
I mean, they're 61?
James is 61. They're old.
Okay, all right.
They don't want to play like this kind of shit all throughout the night. They can't do it.
Yeah, and there's so much crowd interaction with the vocals. Like James really does. He's like, what was it? Ride the Lightning. Actually, I noticed that like his screaming, for that song, because it's not like the screamo, the death metal screamo. It's not like the growl, but his tone of scream definitely isn't there anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fine because they still bring that type of energy.
Yeah.
Like I will not stress the fact, stress enough the fact that they are super like interactive with the crowd.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. They're a live band, man. They're like you're so good.
Damn entertaining.
They're so good.
But
I mean, all right, we could talk about James's vocals because he ruined his vocals by taking vocal lessons.
So do you think that? Because I don't know.
So well, all right. But I'm being a little facetious.
Yeah, of course
all right.
you are.
So James used to sound amazing way back in the day.
Right.
But the problem is when you sing the way James used to sing, is you will blow your voice out and you will not be able to sing the whole rest of your life.
I.e. Axl Rose.
And so many others.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
They just can't do it anymore. And so what James did, he saw it coming. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I'm going to go take some professional vocal lessons and make it so I do not kill myself. Which took all of that anger out of his voice that we all liked from say, the live shit bitch and purge concert.
Yeah, exactly.
That Jason has not
that I have no
yet,
idea about.
and doesn't understand how wonderful that era of Metallica was. And so while he was able to maintain his voice, like his voice changed. And and then he just became kind of a mediocre, decent singer as opposed to a man with a very distinctive, angry voice.
That's fair.
And so like that's what kind of happens is you lose your character to make yourself have a healthier, better
longevity.
voice, to have a longevity style voice. Which, like it's like, do you burn out quickly or do you maintain? And
right.
And James did the right thing. I mean that is the right thing.
Yeah.
But I mean and so all of us assholes out there, we get to deal with this. And so Metallica's still amazing, but
they absolutely
when you're
are.
And see, this is why I'm almost reluctant to have Jason watch those videos, because he's going to be like, oh my gosh. Wow.
No, I still need to see it because you put it in context.
Yeah.
I've done seen them twice, 3 times now.
Yeah.
And I go back and I look at that. You got to remember, that's 87, 88, 89, you said?
Well, the Seattle one was like 89 and Mexico City was like 91.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 2 years apart. So if it's still that great in that time frame.
Yeah.
What, they started in 81.
Oh yeah, I mean they were a garage band,
right?
Back then, and then they got big pretty quick.
Yeah, they did.
Master of Puppets was 86 and Red Lightning was 84,
right?
And Kill 'Em All was 83, and before then you had like them farting around with Dave Mustaine and Ron McGovney before they even got Cliff. And
so I mean, you gotta look at it at that standpoint. Like, okay, if I go back and I look at this video and watch this video, and I see that passion that young Metallica had, because it was, you said it was, most of it was Jason Newsted.
Well, Jason Newsted like brought fire into that band.
I absolutely loved
energy.
Jason. I'm not that I'm saying that Rob does a bad job for Metallica, but I think it's still missing that
Jason energy, the Jason brutality, because he was like a metal guy.
He was.
He's like a growly, angry metal guy.
It was so.
His backing vocals were incredible back then.
They're so great. Yeah,
and we gave him shit so much back in the day because he wasn't Cliff as asshole kids. We did, and now in retrospect, it's like Jason was like the coolest guy that was ever in that band.
I think so. I mean,
and it's like, wow, we did him dirty, like so dirty, and we were so wrong.
So wrong. But
like, I love Jason now so much.
One of the things I also want to talk about is like, I don't know about you, it is entertaining as hell to watch Lars play the drums.
Oh, with his face contorting all the time.
Oh my god.
He put like. And he's always done that. Like you'll watch some of these old videos and you'll see him back behind that giant when he used to play the giant kit. Which, by the way, like him pruning that kit down like is super lame. And swapping out the ride for the China is also super lame because like the ride was cool. But I digress.
Yeah,
like I will happily criticize Lars all day, even though he's my favorite drummer. Even though he's definitely not the best drummer out there.
No.
He'll always be my favorite drummer.
He's damn good.
And he was so you're gonna see some shit in this old videos. You're gonna be like, this is a different drummer,
right?
You're gonna be like, dude, this is a different band. You're gonna see that.
See, I'm looking forward to that because like seeing Lars now, and it was the same way with the Hardwired tour. Lars. It almost looks like he's struggling.
Oh, now, yeah. Oh, and he can't play like the crazy double bass like he used to.
He's working so hard to keep up with himself, and I appreciate that about him.
Yeah, but he's 60. Like, what do we want from the guy?
Right, exactly.
We have to come to terms with that. He's fucking old. So are we.
This is why I like his facials. I'm not saying anything bad about his facials. It's like the dude is like really. He's like the Michael Jordan of drumming, where Michael Jordan every time he concentrates, the tongue's out. That's Lars.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hilarious. And it's hilarious.
The Michael Jordan of drumming. I'm going to make sure that we clip that, and I'm going to play that all the time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, I'm not saying he's the GOAT. I shouldn't say that.
But how Mike had has took the tongue out all the time. And when he was getting serious.
Yeah,
and so Lars, he's making all the facial expressions when he's trying to keep up with his own music.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Michael Jordan at drumming.
Sorry, guys.
This is going to be the title of the video. This would be the best clickbait you've ever seen. It's
Lars
Jason says, Lars is Michael Jordan of drumming.
Yes. I mean,
oh,
sure,
God.
I'll stand.
Dude, we're gonna get 50,000 views. A bunch of people in the comments just shitting on us.
I'll
Michael Jordan of drumming.
Yeah.
The best drummer that's ever happened. Everyone else
let's not get carried away. I didn't say that.
Yeah. No one likes. We hate Danny Carey. We hate
Gene Hoglan.
Neil Pearce, Gene Hoglan. All those guys are shit compared to Lars.
They are fucking garbage.
Joey Jordison was nothing.
No, I will never.
Eloy Casagrande cannot. He's got a feather light touch compared to Lars, who hits like a
fucking Mack truck.
A Viking monster compared to Eloy Casagrande.
No, we're not saying anything like. I'm not saying anything.
No, we're not saying that.
It's the concentration level for me.
Yeah, Lars is, in my opinion, he's the best because he played on all of my favorite songs. Like, I mean, I love old Metallica so much. It's my favorite band. It's the first stuff I learned on guitar, and it is the best music I've ever heard. From Kill 'Em All up through the Black Album, Live Shit, Binge and Purge right after that. Is the best music of my whole life, I would say. And I love like all the other stuff around it too. I love like Megadeth, Slayer, Pantera. I love all that too. But Metallica was the best for me.
Which is why you have to do yourself a justice, just like with the whole Pantera Damage Plan thing. You have to go back. You have to really give Death Magnetic a chance.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you said you liked Hardwire, but like, I loved Hardwire. Like, go back and like really like, and this new album. I've heard some decent stuff from it, but I do think it's a
step down,
a digression.
Yeah,
like they are starting.
Our boys are
down.
getting old,
yeah,
man.
Getting old.
It hurts my feelings to admit this, but they're getting old. Death Magnetic for me, it wasn't so much that I didn't like the songs. It had a problem with how the mixing and mastering went with the compression on it. And when I first heard it, I was like, this is like literally hurting my ears. And I have it like half volume, and it's already hurting my ears.
Yeah,
and it was like. And I never got back around to like finish listening to it, so I should give that another try. So I'll give that a try. And Jason, I will make watch the Seattle and Mexico City from Live Shit, Binge and Purge, which are which is the greatest music that's ever been recorded.
I mean, that right there, you keep mentioning that because I didn't Seattle.
Yep.
So
right here in Seattle, there it was. That one was on the And Justice for All tour.
Okay.
So it's everything from Justice on back, and it's on like it's a big stage, but it's not like so Mexico City is a massive show.
Okay.
And the Seattle one is more intimate, but it's awesome. Like you won't even believe it how good it is.
One thing I do want to mention, and I want to get your opinion on, and I want your guys' opinion too.
Leave it in the comments.
For every concert that I've been to, it seemingly is the opener. You could barely hear shit.
Yep.
You hear the music real loud, real loud.
Yep.
And then with the second band, you start to hear more of the vocals and actually hear what they're saying. Yeah, you still hear the loud music, but the vocals actually start to fine tune itself out to where you can actually hear what they're saying.
Yep.
And then when it comes to Metallica or like any other mainstay, you could hear everything.
Yep.
Why is that?
So, well, I mean, there's not a great excuse for that. Honestly, it's probably just because of lazy sound guys.
Engineers, the sound guys.
Yeah, but however, I think what we're dealing with also. Okay, so this is. I don't want to say it's specific to this kind of show, these massive shows like that.
Okay.
Because you don't often. Well, I mean, I've seen so many concerts, and like, I'm not sure if this is a universal phenomenon, but it definitely was for this show.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Where all the opening bands like had no sound support compared to what Metallica had, and like
the Hardwire tour had it too.
It was like that too,
yeah.
And I don't know. I guess I could let's ask a pro sound guy like what that is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can theorize that like Metallica has an entire team of engineers backing them up, and they just like probably didn't care that much for the. It's not that they didn't like those bands. It's they didn't give them the care that they give Metallica.
Right. But I think that's doing an injustice. And
I don't want to say anything bad about sound guys or anything, but
I will.
Yeah.
Because
I mean these sound guys. I guess.
If you guys are doing that on purpose,
I can't imagine they'd be doing it on purpose.
I can't either. But I'm just saying if you're doing the other bands an injustice, because Ice Nine Kills, the show presence.
Yeah.
I mean, we just went over it, but the show presence and the music was good. I just wanted to hear more of their inflection and their tones and with the lyrics, because when we went back and we listened to it in the truck,
it was clear.
It was so good.
Well, okay. So here's another theory I would give.
All right.
So Metallica is 2 guitar players, a bass player, a vocalist, and a drummer combined into 4 guys. All right. So that's your inputs.
Yep.
1 guitar, 2 guitar, 1 bass, 1 vocal mic with very limited backup vocals now without Jason, and the drum set.
Yeah.
So these other bands have like way more shit, especially Ice Nine Kills. Like they had 2 guitar players, a bass player, all these effects and everything going, and the vocalist had a bunch of effects on his vocals. So.
Did he have effects on the vocals?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And he sounded good, but when you have like that level of production going, it's hard to like make it loud and like that. It's like complicated to do that.
So I go back to our very first concert together, 2010.
Yeah.
You remember Dillinger Escape Plan when they opened for Fear Factory?
Were they there on that tour? Was that them?
I think it was Dillinger.
I know Periphery was there.
That was the very first band, right?
I think so.
And then Dillinger, and then
I think that's right.
Fear Factory.
Yeah.
It was almost the same thing, and that was a much smaller venue.
Okay.
It was House of Blues.
Then there might be more going on.
Yeah,
but
I just wonder. It's just a question to throw out there to the universe, if anybody happens to know or can explain it to this dumbass.
Yeah, and it could be like. So. I know it's my understanding, and I've never done sound for a big show like that. Like my limited exposure to sound stuff like that as a hobbyist. Like, I think they start with the headliner, set all that up, and then you set the other bands kind of like on top of it. You know, so then you pull their stuff away,
Yeah.
and then you get it that way.
Yep.
You know, so I don't know if because of how they set things up, that things are less refined as you get earlier in the evening because of that style. I don't know. Maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
It's just a strange theory.
But I will say Ice Nine Kills. There's a lot of vocal processing, which is, you know, it's fine.
It's fine.
It sounds good, honestly, but it's hard to make that stuff loud and clear. Like reverb and stuff that makes the voice sound like really good means that the voice gets a little muddy.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of stuff. So maybe it's like that. Whereas like there's not a lot of like processing on Metallica stuff. It's like a big old turned up garage band.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay.
You know, like if they're really just playing like through their amps, like not a lot of shit. And
okay. Maybe that probably makes a little bit more sense.
yeah, I mean, sure, there's a whole team of people making them sound good, you know, but it does boil down to like, you know, guitar, amp, done. You know, it's kind of like that.
Well,
Yep.
I mean, all in all,
Yep.
go to the concert.
Go to the concert. Go
Check
see
it out. You might be disappointed, but you'll still be hyped.
Yeah, oh yeah. You'll come out of there hyped because you'll get all these good songs at the end.
And I'm just gonna personally say, this whole weekend, Mike's been up here.
Yeah.
We got to do some
I
live.
hadn't seen Jason in a very long time.
We got to do some live footage together. We got to go to the show together. It's been phenomenal.
It's been awesome.
And I wouldn't ask for a better concert buddy.
Dude, this was great.
Even though he's a critical asshole,
Yes.
it's still fantastic. We get to share, bounce
Oh
ideas
yeah.
back and forth.
I mean, it's still fun. You know, it's still
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
The bands were all great. Like all of our shit is kind of nitpicky. Like my
It
shit
really
is usually
is,
nitpicky.
yeah.
I always have fun.
Mine is too, with
Yep.
Five Finger, but we'll leave that alone.
Butt finger. Brown finger death punch.
But that's gonna get some hate comments that way.
I know. And we're thanks again to our Japanese fans
Yep.
who
Gotta
all came
always
in
thank
through our
them.
baby metal episode.
Yep.
We love you guys.
Love you. Appreciate everything.
Yep.
And this was
Expect more content. We'll try to step it up and do more than once every 2 weeks.
or 6 months.
Or 6 months.
Something like that. But who
Yep.
knows? But yeah, it's been phenomenal. It was a great time. Great to get back out to you guys. And we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Ha ha.